Welcome to Community Connection. I'm your host, Sarah Clark, and today with me I have Rob Locke, the General Manager of the Goleta Valley Community Center and board member of Go Skate Move. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me today.
So, Rob, I'd love to hear about what Go Skate Move is. I just recently heard about it, and I'd love a little more detail on what it is and its history.
Go Skate Move is primarily an advocacy group that's working toward development of skate parks and facilities in Goleta and Santa Barbara. And it was kind of part of initially a kind of a pipe dream to have multiple skate parks along the Hollister corridor, as well as MTD skate passes to get those kids to and from these skate parks. And it's an organization that's kind of committed to the education and broadening of the knowledge of local skate history and heritage.
So tell me a little bit about your personal history and link to skateboarding and how you got involved with the organization.
Wow. So back in the day, we're talking way back in the day, I grew up with 4 brothers and sisters, and one of the things that we did pretty much daily was skateboard. We had the hills of Hayward to roam. No skate parks back in the day, and a lot of the places that we did like to skate were off limits. Public pools that were closed, drainages, public streets. And this kind of came about in conversation with some of our board members at the Goleta Valley Community Center. And, it's an overarching initiative to educate the populace and kind of get out there and advocate for skateboarding.
And tell me a little bit about what's unique about skateboarding and why it's important to give our children in the Goleta Valley a place to skateboard.
One of the things that we come back to every time we meet with these groups is that if you don't have a skate park, the entire city's a skate park. And one of the major concerns is the safety of pedestrians and skateboarders, and this is an easy effort and a viable effort to provide those places for the kids to go out and skateboard. It's a great recreational activity, and with childhood obesity raising percentage by percentage over the years, we need to encourage our kids to go out and do what they enjoy doing, and this is one of the things that's most popular right now in our society. So.
Absolutely, much better than watching TV and playing video games
Absolutely.
all afternoon.
Exactly.
So I've heard bits and pieces about the fact that our area here in Santa Barbara, the greater Santa Barbara area, has some interesting history with skateboarding.
Absolutely. With Powell Peralta, the Skate One Corporation, icons like Mike Santa Rosa, Frankie Hill. There are a lot of kids that know the history. There are a lot of adults that know the history, and combine the two, and you've got a lot of people that are interested in participating in a sport that is growing by leaps and bounds. So we really want to preserve that heritage, recognize where we came from, and promote where we'll be.
Great. So tell me a little bit about what the concept and goals are for this
Initially,
project.
We came up with an initiative to work with public and private property owners to investigate available properties along the Hollister corridor. We've got a lot of teens and youth in the area without a lot of opportunity. And through that process, myself and one of our board members, Rubai Srivastava, approached our board along with Mike Taylor and CJ Covarrubias from Skate One Corp. And we were able to secure and have a dedicated space at the Goleta Valley Community Center that we're still working on getting set up as a temporary skate spot. And meanwhile, the whole group kind of blossomed, and now we're at the point of forming our own 501c3 with Goleta Skate Movement, and really getting involved in the developmental aspect of these parks in the local areas here.
And so when did this group come together? It's just...
It was right around 2011, maybe late 2010. And really, there were two of us, and two of us turned into four, and four turned into eight. And pretty soon, we realized that there were enough people out there that were interested in what we were trying to promote that it's kind of taken off.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So, for viewers out there that don't know much about skateboarding, they may see some kids around town skateboarding. What would you say, what kind of opportunities does it offer, especially to younger kids that maybe are interested in getting involved and their parents might be questioning it? What is...
That's a great question, and I think because there's such a history, a number of adults continue to skateboard. The developments in the equipment, the safety material, there's this opportunity for younger children who otherwise might say, oh, I don't want to because I don't know how to do the tricks. There's kind of a built-in leadership from adults down through teens, tweeners, down into elementary school kids. So that fear and focus on what they can't do turns into there are plenty of people out there to help them do what they want to do.
Wonderful. And even maybe build some friendships.
Oh, absolutely.
And find some mentors
absolutely.
For some of the younger kids.
I have a 14, 15-year-old, and often we drive them down to Skaters Point. They participate in kind of a follow the leader game where one kid will do a trick and you try and repeat that trick. And they meet all kinds of new kids,
Yeah.
So there's so many positive things about what we're talking about that I think it's important that these kids are exposed to that. Bridging those gaps is a very important thing.
Absolutely, and seems like a lot of other communities have been successful in a similar type of model.
Absolutely. Carpinteria Skate Foundation has been working diligently for a number of years with Carpinteria City of Carp, Parks and Rec, and city government. They're on the verge, they have dedicated space, they're on the verge of getting a world-class skate spot built in the city of Carpinteria. Prior to that, city of Ojai had similar movement, and they were able to build a skate park, so we're hopeful that we can get to that point.
Wonderful. So going back to I just am curious about the history. When did skateboarding start? When was it first invented?
Gosh, you're asking the wrong person. It's been around for years and years and years. When we were kids, I'll be honest with you, we used to take my sister's skates apart and put metal wheels on 2x4s that were shaped into torpedo-like things. Not the safest pieces of equipment. But it's been around for years and years and years. It really took off, I would say, in the late 60s, early 70s. And the advancement from clay wheels to rubber to these polyurethane to what they have now has been a phenomenal leap in the evolution of skateboarding.
Great. And have you had positive responses to to coming up with Go Skate Move? What kind of response are you getting from?
We're really starting to get involved at the community level with the county and cities. A group of us participated at the Parks and Recreation Commission last night at the City of Santa Barbara, and then beat feet over here to the City of Goleta for their Parks and Rec Commission. And we've been asked to work with them in the development of proposed skate area over here at the Kellogg Hollister Park area. And downtown, we're working with the Parks and Recreation Commission to host a kind of a speak out where city folks and skaters can kind of talk about what their concerns are and how things are developed. And so we're hopeful that this positive embrace of what we're doing continues. But it's been a really, really positive experience.
So how can others out there in our community get involved that maybe, this is the first time they're hearing about it and they're interested in it?
Look us up on Facebook, check out what we're doing, pay attention to what's going on locally. When they have public workshops in terms of getting ideas and feedback from the community regarding skate park development, be involved in that.
Yeah, it sounds like a great opportunity for some skateboarders out there to get what they want in your own backyard. And really what I think so unique about it is to build, it's really not building the community, but these neighborhoods. So, you know, you have the kids in the Goleta Valley that have a place to go that's healthy and
and that's a great point. It builds a portion of the culture that otherwise doesn't have kind of a foundation. And it also gives these kids an idea what to look forward to in terms of the public process and becoming involved and vocal and understanding how the process works. So, you know, it's a win-win as far as, you know, we look at it.
Right, absolutely. And it sounds like there'll be, you know, along with it, a lot of programs that can integrate other local youth organizations and programs.
Absolutely. We're working with processes in which we'll be working with school districts. When I worked with the City of Santa Barbara Parks and Rec, we had folks that would come and do demonstrations at the after-school programs, inline skating, skateboarding. So it kind of gives it a positive spin, controlled atmosphere, the ability to kind of educate and let them know what the safety features are and how to maneuver, what the etiquette is. And, you know, it's just a positive role modeling, I think.
Yeah, and also leveraging the wonderful, rich history of these icons and local skateboarding companies.
Absolutely.
And, you know, bringing that into our youth and children of today.
Absolutely.
So, well, I am so excited, and Cox is really excited about the progress and seeing what's to come. So please keep us up to date on what's happening, and thank you for letting us all know about what's going on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us today.
Sure. And thank you for watching Community Connection. We'll see you next time.